that you did not indicate that the new date is August 25th. You talk about COVID, you talk about monkeypox, and yes, they're important health issues for the borough, but just as important is Post Office Plaza. So for the public's benefit, since you didn't say it, I'm going to say it again, the new court date is August 25th. If people are interested in reading the legal documents, again, which is now public information that you folks don't want to talk about except in executive session, the paperwork is all online through the New Jersey Superior Court system. I encourage residents to read that documentation. Interestingly enough, when I read it, I discovered a couple of things that I didn't know. First, not only did the Fair Share Housing Center reject the initial redeveloper the borough proposed one day before the deadline ran out, but then the borough hastily came up with another developer, Bergen County United Way, submitted that paperwork after the deadline, and that agreement has also been rejected by the Fair Share Housing folks. When I looked at the paperwork, or that redeveloper agreement the borough submitted, I was interested to see that although there's a 30-year restriction on the use of the property in terms of affordable housing, the borough offered a lease for 45 years, right? And when it was talked about in the town halls about a long-term lease rather than giving up the property, if you're going to enter into a 45-year lease, you're in essence giving up the property. I was also interested to see that the fee for that long-term lease is $1 every year. So the borough gets no benefit from that property, except to the extent that it helps the borough satisfy its fair share housing obligation. And the article that appeared in the Courier talks about the motion to intervene. It talks about Mr. Drill's response to that motion filed on behalf of the borough. But what the article doesn't talk about is the fact that the fair share housing folks have also filed a cross motion to enforce litigants' rights. And if you read that paperwork, and I'm hoping that all of you have, this is really towards the benefit of the public, you'll find that the Fair Share Housing Center is going after the borough for failing to hold up its end of the bargain in the First Amendment to the 2016 settlement agreement. They allege that the borough has failed to meet that June 1st, 22 deadline, and that deadline has not been extended even though the agreement allowed the parties to agree to an extension. And Fair Share Housing Center, and this should make people a little nervous, they want the court to appoint a special master to now intervene in the discussions over Post Office Plaza and come up with a recommendation for an inclusionary development at Post Office Plaza. This thing is spiraling out of control. You guys need to get a handle on it, and you need to protect the borough's interest. Thank you.